Hey guys, welcome to my TED Talk, and today we'll be talking about every streaming service and my opinion on all of them. Now, I wanted to make this video because this year, 2020, there has been 3 new streaming services that have came out. I'm pretty sure most of y'all don't have the money to spend on all of them. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure most of y'all are like 10. But you never know, one day your parents might kick you out because they hate you. And now you're out here living by yourself with your own responsibilities, and now you gotta be smart with your money. Ain't that right, little Timmy?
You promised free candy.
Oh, Willow. Oh, I'll whip your hair.
I wanna go home.
Oh.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, in this video, I'ma rank all of the major streaming services and give you my opinions on them. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have Disney Plus, and I'm gonna start this off with a hot take. I think Disney Plus is pretty overrated. First off, with the originals, Disney Plus hasn't really came out with any big originals besides The Mandalorian, but they will be fixing that problem because in a few years we're gonna have a lot of Marvel exclusive content. Don't forget, we're getting a whole Phineas and Ferb movie. But as of right now, the originals are lacking. But let's go over to the overall library that Disney has. They have Marvel, they have Star Wars, they have Pixar, they have all the Disney stuff. But in my opinion, I was kind of underwhelmed. Sure, when it first came out, it was cool seeing all these shows in one place. But I'm not gonna lie, after a week of having it, I pretty much stopped using it. And if I'm being honest, the last few days of my free trial, I was binge watching things like The Brain Game and Casey Undercover. Yes, having all the Pixar and Marvel movies in one place is cool, but once you watch all the movies, you really have nothing left besides crappy Disney Channel sitcoms. But hey, it's at a cheap price, so if you're a fan of Disney content and The Simpsons, I would recommend it, I guess. Overall, I would rate it a 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Apple TV Plus. I think that's the funniest thing I've ever said in my life. Oh my god. Next up, we have HBO Max. And this streaming service is my personal favorite new streaming service out of the bunch. It just feels like this streaming service was made just for me. First off, the originals are pretty good. They have Close Enough, which I think is my favorite cartoon to come out this year. They have Doom Patrol, which I haven't watched yet, but I heard good things about. They have the new Looney Tunes cartoon, which is pretty good. And they're getting things like Infinity Train, Book 3, and they're also getting 2 new seasons of Boondocks. They also have other originals, which for me personally aren't my cup of tea, but they could be yours. Overall, the original section is pretty good. It's not great yet, but it's pretty decent. Now, when we look at the library and the content that HBO Max has, this is where I think they blow every other new streaming service out the water. They have a whole lot of HBO content. They got a good bit of Cartoon Network. They got a little bit of anime. They got a little bit of Adult Swim. They got Hanna-Barbera cartoons, so stuff like Tom and Jerry. They got Studio Ghibli films, and they also got a lot of DC content. The one problem with their content is that they're missing big things in almost every single category besides Studio Ghibli. For example, for Cartoon Network, they're missing Codename Kids Next Door and Ed, Edd n Eddy. I'm pretty sure this is due to things like licensing issues. So if you're going to HBO Max for just one category, you will probably be disappointed. But for me, I'm almost interested in everything that HBO Max has to offer. But another con is that it's the most expensive streaming service to date. It's $15, and for me, I think that's a good deal, and I'm willing to pay that much money for it. But for some people, that could be a big letdown and a major factor in them not getting it. But if you ask me, I really like HBO Max, and I think in a few years it can become as good as the big dog Netflix. Next up, we have Quibi. I can't. It's so terrible. It's so bad. Next up, we have Peacock. Peacock is probably the most interesting streaming service to come out this year. Not because of the originals, not because of the content, which I think they're lacking in both categories, but because of their live TV option. Also because they're the only free streaming service. Peacock overall as a streaming service, it isn't that good. I don't recommend buying it, but it's free, so go ahead and download it. But I think this streaming service will bring the most innovation to the table because they already brought 2 new things to the streaming wars. Who knows, maybe in the future there'll be a free version of HBO Max, a free version of Disney Plus, a free version of Netflix even. But what I really like is this live TV tab, mainly because with all of these streaming services coming out, this has been leading to the death of cable. And now if you ask me overall, I think streaming is way better than cable, but there are still some things that I miss from cable. For example, I miss the personality that almost every TV channel had. Every TV channel that you went on, it felt like you entered a different world of content. And I really hope that these other streaming services take note because, to be honest, I just want a Cartoon Network live TV option on HBO Max. That would be great. But Peacock overall, I'd give it a 3 out of 10. The content is lackluster. The originals aren't all there yet, but hey, we'll see how it does with time. So yeah guys, that was the video and that was my little guide and what I thought of all the new streaming services coming out. So in the comments below, tell me what's your favorite new streaming service. I didn't include Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime because they have been out for a little while and everyone knows how good they are. Everyone has these streaming services. So yeah, that's why I didn't include them. And just tell me what y'all thought of this video and tell me what is your favorite streaming service overall or even new streaming service. So yeah, that's all I had to say and bye.